The Lions signed Emmanuel Moseley in the free agent period of 2023, and we knew he was, we had to wait a little while because he suffered a knee injury last season. The Lions chose not to put him on IR, took up a roster spot for him, expecting that he was going to come back in before week 5. Didn't go on IR week 3. Dan Campbell does not seem like he's anywhere closer than he was really, honestly, at the start of the season. So my question is, will we see him facing Green Bay? I hope so. I mean, for a little bit. Now, here's the caveat as to why I don't know if he's going to play. If he doesn't play, my guess is that the Lions training staff thought he would be further along than he is, so they didn't put him on IR, which means that he could come back before 4 games. Dan Campbell said in his press conference yesterday that he was moving in the right direction, but they can't practice. They don't practice this week. They had like a walkthrough. They leave for Green Bay today. So essentially, it's like their practice was the game against the Atlanta Falcons. That was their practice. If Moseley comes in, he will be on an extremely limited snap count, in my opinion. Probably one of those JMO snap counts. I'm talking about 10 plays or less, right? But was not putting Emmanuel Moseley on IR the right move? Now, somebody said that if you can put people on IR multiple times in the year. I didn't know that. I thought you had one opportunity. They could go on for 4 games, and then when they came back, you had to either shelve them for the year or bring them to the active 53-man roster. So if Emmanuel Moseley, if Emmanuel Moseley is not ready for game 5, should the Detroit Lions put him on IR? That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Moseley sounds like he's sitting again this week. Ryan, he does. If you listen to Dan Campbell, he does seem like that. Nick says, why didn't they put him on IR? Maybe he had a setback. That's a good question. It's going to be a low-scoring game, in my opinion. Monty plays Moseley next. It didn't matter much. It didn't matter much if he went to IR, if not, to be honest. Well, Sam, yes, it did. Because you're talking about a roster spot that we could have opened. We might as well had brought Gilmore up or something. Or, I don't know, get somebody. Because anybody is better than Jerry Jacobs has been playing this year. Even if he plays 10 to 20 snaps, he can still help shut down Watson. Jerry will be getting cooked. Okay, Eduardo, good point. But let me ask you this, and this is for the chat in the comment section. What percentage of an Emmanuel Moseley do we need to legitimately cover a Christian Watson if he plays? Right? Because let's say Sutton is on receiver number 1. Emmanuel Moseley is on receiver number 2. Who is their receiver number 2? Dobbs? Is it Dobbs? Who's number 1? Who's number 2 over there? So Romeo Dobbs versus Christian Watson. It's going to be a long day for Jerry Jacobs. That's just facts. I'm wondering if they are going to have Brian Branch help him out or something. I mean, this is when C.J. Gardner-Johnson would come in the clutch. Tracy Walker back there headhunting. I think he's going to need some help. Okay. Nate says 85%. Sup, Larry? Braylon says 78. Braylon says 80. Maybe Brian Branch can play corner. Okay, 80. He almost has more fumbles than catches. Who would that be? Watson is receiver 1, but Sutton will be on Dobbs, who's the number 2. Okay. Wait. So who is on Christian Watson if he plays? Tell me we're not putting Jerry Jacobs on Christian Watson. That is a suicide mission. Are we serious? And you know what? Just to go back to Jerry Jacobs for 1 second, I seem to recall some games last year that he was not looking that great. Put Branch at corner. Okay, Romy, give me a second, man. Okay, so it's good. Okay, I'll talk. Let me see if I can pin that. All right. I'll pin that so I can come back to it. It would be Jerry. He's been on the #1 most of the year. Okay, Sam says, is Kirby playing the way Dan Campbell made it sound? No. That's the way he made it sound. But that was yesterday. And I don't know how much 2 days is going to make a difference. Like, oh, we'll see tomorrow. I don't know. So to me, no. So after a player put on IR, they have to sit 4 games. Then they have a 4-week window to return to the active roster, Nick. That's what it is. Thank you, sir. I'm like, you can't be put on IR infinite times. That's right. That's right. They have it's 21 days, Nick. They have a 21-day window. That's right. It's 3 weeks. Mufasa says, I'm nervous about us getting caught a ton of pass interference in the game. Packers have benefited from the most pass interference yards this year. I did see one against the Saints. I think it was #1 for the Saints. I forgot his name. And it was a bomb, and it was like 60-some yards, man. So that will be Jerry Jacobs. The Dern in the building. What's up, man? Cam Sutton on Watson. Yes, put iffy on him. Cam definitely should be on the #1. Okay, so you're the Lions coach right now. What are you doing? Who are you putting on Watson if he plays? Who are you putting on Dobbs if he plays? Jerry Jacobs is a Emmanuel Moseley. Does he play tomorrow? I'm going to say no. I don't know. And this whole 4-week thing was a waste. Now, I got a theory, man. If he doesn't play tomorrow, or even if he does, because don't forget, DJ Chark played and then went on IR, right? So Emmanuel Moseley could very well wind up on IR in week 5, just like DJ Chark did. Went out, and when he came back, we would still have 11 games, right? He would miss 4, 5, 6, 7. So we would have 10 games when he came back. Lucas. I forgot about Chase Lucas. Okay. So are y'all saying that we put Brian Branch on #2? That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. I know y'all been saying it, and I know he's versatile. Do we put Brian Branch on #2? Or do we go with, and then that means Melifonwu and Tracy Walker are starting? Nate says no. Okay, could it be any worse? Could it be any worse than Jerry Jacobs being on anyone? Jerry Jacobs. Y'all remember that episode of Family Guy where somebody's graduating and they call these names and then they say anyone, and then Peter Griffin walks across the stage? Do we feel comfortable putting Jerry Jacobs on anyone? My answer is no. I love the guy. Story's amazing, but Emmanuel Moseley needs to come back. Jerry Jacobs is a liability. I'm sorry. That's like me having somebody on my team who, I don't know, he has no personality. He can't speak. He can't read or whatever the situation. No, Jerry Jacobs is a liability.